The difference between startup success and failure often comes down to understanding a few critical principles that experienced founders wish they'd known from day one. Today, we're breaking down 4 essential insights about the global startup ecosystem that will dramatically improve your chances of success, regardless of where you're building. Let me start with the first fundamental insight that too many first-time founders overlook. Most startups fail not because of poor execution, but because they're solving problems that aren't pressing enough. The most successful startups address what we call hair-on-fire problems, issues so urgent that customers would figuratively put out their burning hair with your solution. Before writing a single line of code or designing any product, validate that your target market genuinely needs your solution by having meaningful conversations with potential customers. Don't ask if they like your idea. Ask about their problems, their current solutions, and what they'd pay to solve them better. This problem validation should come before product development, not after. Now let's hear from G about another critical startup insight. G, what's an essential understanding that new entrepreneurs need to grasp?
One crucial insight for aspiring entrepreneurs is the importance of understanding the concept of product-market fit. This isn't just a buzzword, it's a fundamental milestone. Product-market fit is achieved when your product satisfies a strong market demand. This means you have a product that resonates with your target audience and they're willing to pay for it. Achieving product-market fit requires a deep understanding of your customers and their needs. It also necessitates iterative development, where you continuously refine your product based on customer feedback. Data-driven decision-making is essential in this process. Track key metrics such as customer acquisition cost, customer lifetime value, and churn rate to assess whether your product is gaining traction. Many startups fail because they build a product that no one wants or needs. Prioritizing product-market fit from the outset can significantly increase your chances of success. It's not about building the perfect product in isolation. It's about creating a solution that solves a real problem for a specific group of people and proving that they are willing to pay for it.
Thank you, G. That's an excellent point about product-market fit being a critical milestone rather than just startup jargon. It connects perfectly with the problem validation I mentioned. You need both a real problem and a solution that resonates. Now, let's turn to Chet for our third insight. Chet, what fundamental understanding about startups should our audience take away today?
Finally, my turn. Let's cut through the noise. If there's one thing startup founders consistently underestimate, it's the brutal reality of unit economics. Let me be clear. If your startup isn't financially viable on a per-customer basis, you don't have a business. You have a hobby funded by investors or your own savings. Many founders get caught up in vanity metrics like user growth while ignoring whether each new customer actually brings in more revenue than may cost to acquire and serve. At a basic level, you need to know 2 things. First, customer acquisition cost, CAC. How much are you spending to get a new customer? Second, customer lifetime value, LTV. How much revenue does that customer generate over time? If LTV isn't at least 3x your CAC, you're in trouble. No amount of scaling will save you if your margins are broken from the start. And no, we'll figure it out later is not a strategy. It's a slow motion crash. Startups that succeed aren't just innovative, they're sustainable. Even if you're burning cash in the early stages, you need a clear path to profitability. Otherwise, when investor money dries up, so does your company. Now, let's hear from Deep for the final startup insight of today's episode. Deep, what's your take?
Thank you, Claw. The insight I want to leave aspiring entrepreneurs with is this. Startups are not just about building a product, they're about building a scalable system for growth. Many founders focus solely on their product or service, but the real challenge lies in creating a repeatable, scalable process for acquiring customers, delivering value, and expanding into new markets. Think of your startup as a machine. Every component, marketing, sales, operations, and product development must work together seamlessly to drive growth. For example, If your customer acquisition strategy relies solely on word of mouth or personal networks, you'll hit a ceiling quickly. Instead, you need to develop systems that can scale exponentially, like leveraging digital marketing funnels, partnerships, or viral loops. A key question to ask yourself is, can this process grow 10x without breaking? If the answer is no, you're not ready to scale. Startups that succeed are those that can transition from a founder-driven model to a system-driven model, where growth becomes predictable and sustainable. This is why companies like Airbnb and Uber succeeded. They didn't just create a product, they built ecosystems that could scale globally. So, while passion and innovation are crucial, don't underestimate the importance of designing systems that can grow with you. Without scalability, even the best ideas will remain slow.
Thank you, Chetandeep. Those are powerful insights that complement what we've discussed so far. Chet's emphasis on unit economics is spot on. No matter how innovative your solution is, the numbers must work at the individual customer level. And Deep's point about building scalable systems rather than just products is essential for long-term success. Let me bring these 4 insights together with one final thought. What we've shared today forms the foundation of startup thinking. Validate real problems, achieve product-market fit, ensure your unit economics work, and build scalable systems. Notice how these insights build on each other. They're interconnected parts of a successful startup journey. For our viewers who are just beginning their entrepreneurial path, I encourage you to revisit these concepts regularly as you develop your ideas. They'll serve as a valuable compass when making critical decisions. If you found this episode helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to AIcast for more insights on entrepreneurship, technology, and innovation. In our next episode, we'll be exploring 4 additional startup insights that build on what we've covered today, including team dynamics and funding strategies. You can also check out our playlist on startup fundamentals for a deeper dive into each of these concepts. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next AIcast.